All right, Mitt Romney is still taking heat today from his Republican rivals over his record at Bain Capital, but some, including prominent conservatives, are coming to his defense. Chris Chocola is the president of the Club for Growth. He's also a former Republican member of Congress from Indiana, and there's a lot of criticism. It's mostly coming from Speaker Gingrich and Rick Perry, two people that you have given very positive scores on white papers, I believe, about their economic plans. I want to play for you some sound this morning from Governor Perry about the line, the distinction he believes he's drawing here that he thinks that others ought to listen to. Here's what he said.
I'm a capitalist, and I believe in the profit motive. But there is a point in time where we have to say, wait a minute, what's going on here?
And it's a similar argument Speaker Gingrich made to me, which he said, it may have been legal, but he's saying that he's basically questioning the morality and ethics of Governor Romney's time at Bain. What do you make of all this?
Well, we've kind of entered into this discussion because we think this is ultimately what the election boils down to. It's about, do we want more and bigger government, or do we want more and better economic freedom? I'm sure that Romney expected this attack from the left and from the Obama administration all along. It's maybe a little surprised to come from the right. We think that it's not appropriate. We think it's a little disgusting that Republicans would take a slice of someone's career, a slice of the rough and tumble world of free enterprise and economic freedom, and try to exploit that. We think you need a bigger picture. But ultimately, this election is going to boil down to, if it's Romney the nominee, which candidate can articulate their life experience the most convincingly. Obama's never worked in the private sector. He doesn't understand how you create jobs, wealth, and economic freedom. He believes in more and bigger government. Romney has made his campaign based on his experience in the markets. Romney needs to be able to step up now, which is probably a good thing, and defend economic freedom and talk about how...
You just said he made it the centerpiece. 4 years ago he did not, and that's why Bain never really came up. This time he cites it. Private sector experience was a phrase I believe he uttered more than Mitt Romney in most of the calendar year 2011. So it's inviting the good and the bad here. And I understand it gets to the extremes. And he's only going to cite all the jobs he thinks he's created. Do you think it's important for him to point out, since they cite what they believe is a net jobs number created, that they ought to cite, okay, how many jobs did they have to, how many people did they have to lay off?
Well, in the rough and tumble world of the free market, there's ups and downs. But I don't know what the net number is with Bain.
That's my point. He is claiming one positive. Do you think now he's sort of in a position where he better release everything?
What he has to do is he has to, I think, speak to a higher plane. He has to talk about the fact that the free market system has been done more for the human soul than any other system on earth. It's created the highest standard of living, the biggest, strongest economy in the history of the world. And the one thing I know for sure is that companies like Bain Capital don't participate in the free market system over a long period of time without creating value and growth. And the other thing I know is the government doesn't create one job. The private sector does. So if Bain created one job, it's created more than the government has. And that's Romney's challenge now, is to be able to articulate that clearly and convincingly. And we think that that's what this election's all about anyway.
Well, Speaker Gingrich's hit was he doesn't mind Bain taking a profit. His question was, did Bain take a profit at the expense of the troubled company they were taking over?
Well, the model that Bain followed was they went into failing companies. They tried to, I guess, engage in some CPR for some companies that probably would have failed anyways. And so I don't think you can take a video of a few people that had a very bad experience. There are moments in time in that process that are probably pretty ugly. But I think you have to look at the entire picture. And this is the problem with government right now. We can never make the hard decisions. We can never make the cuts necessary that improve the health of the organization as a whole. And so you need somebody that's going to be able to defend that. I think that it's probably good that we're having this discussion now on a little smaller stage in South Carolina. If Romney can't defend himself there, he's going to have a lot of problems later on.
As you know, politics is usually as much about emotion as it is about the head. It's going to be a head versus heart, and heart usually wins out. This is not going to be an easy case for Mitt Romney to make on an emotional level.
But it's going to be a case he's going to have to make. He's going to have to be able to rise above it. He's going to have people talk about what a good job he did as a member of the free market system. He's going to have to find a way to convince people that the net experience that he's had has been positive, and economic growth creates jobs. And that's his challenge, and we'll see if he can live up to it.
Is Bain Capital, I guess the central question will be, was Bain Capital's job to make money for its investors priority, or was it to create jobs?
Well, obviously it's an investment firm and they make money for their investors, but their investors are people like, there are some individual investors, but there's teachers' pensions, there's firefighter pensions, there's college endowments, there's charitable foundation endowments. So the reality is, firms like Bain, like I said, don't grow unless they create value. You can't go in and you can't loot companies over and over and over again and grow. You
right,
have
but
to
sometimes
find a
you
way
create
to
value by outsourcing jobs because it's cheaper labor.
You have to create economic value. You have to create economic growth. That's the only way you go from $34 million in a fund to $66 billion is you create a growth and value. And that's what I think the story he has to tell convincingly, and we'll see if he can do it.
Yes, well, apparently he's going up with TV ads about Bain, maybe in the next few days. Chris Chocola, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right. Well, it's not just